Hi, I'm Don, and this is The Hobbyist Geek. Welcome back, y'all. Today, we are re-entering the world of Star Wars. I have some Metal Earth ones coming up soon, but first, we're gonna build us a Lego set, and then we're gonna light it up. This is the Endor Speeder Chase, set 75353, 608 pieces, and it looks awesome. And of course, when we get the set built, we're going to add some lights, and we're gonna make it look all pretty. But the first thing we gotta do in any of these videos is actually build the set. So let's get into that. And here we have the base set for the Endor Speeder Chase. And I'm not sure if I like it or not as a base set. It certainly looks cool, particularly when it's being rotated like this. But when you're looking at it head on, it kind of hides the action. A bit. And, you know, it's okay. I mean, it's not bad at all. It does seem a little crowded. You know, the speeder bikes are really, really close to each other for this chase, but it's not bad. It's really not. I do like the forest floor. The trees came out pretty good. All in all, not a bad set as a static piece. Even cooler, you can move the bases where those speeder bikes are, but there's not a lot of room to place them. One of my favorite things, though, is you can actually take the Luke and Leia bike off entirely. Luke does come with a lightsaber, so you can actually replicate the scene where Luke is in a standoff with a lightsaber against that bike trooper there, and that's pretty cool. What I don't know is whether or not the light kit will allow us that same level of flexibility once it's installed. I hope it does, but we will have to wait and see. Well, you know what? Why don't we just get into it? Let's pull out the light kit and see what we got. Alright, so for this set we will be using the Lighttailing brand light kit, and I have really had a lot of good luck with Lighttailing. I love this brand, so I can't wait to see. You can what we've got here, you can see Endor Speeder Chase 75353. That is our model. So let's go ahead and see what's inside here. Man, they made that cellophane pretty tight, didn't they? There we go. They do not want you getting in this box, do they? Alright, so, alright, look at this. Actual physical instructions. This is one of the reasons why I like Lighttailing. You don't have to go online and download some digital PDF. Alright, so So what do we got in here? Looks like we've got 2 packages. This one is just the battery box, so no big there. Erg. Alright, I'm gonna have to cut this open. And this looks like the lights and the USB connector, so there doesn't seem to be too much to this particular pack, considering there's not a lot of places where the lights should be for this pack. Unless we're trying to make it like Pandora or something. That's understandable, I guess. Let's see here. Alright. Alright, I'm just going to end up having to rip this thing apart. I've never had this much difficulty getting something open before. There it goes. Woof! Okay. Oh man, is this all just one string? That would be interesting and a first for me. I've never had a single string set of lights for a Lego set before. And yet, here we are. Look at this. One string, no control board or central board or anything like that. Just one string going straight to the USB. This is actually kind of cool. I think wherever possible, they should do this. Makes it a little easier to manipulate, I think. Well, I guess we'll find out, because it does kind of break out, doesn't it? Alright. We have us. Looks like 4 of these green lights, and 2 of these, 1 gray, 1 black. So, and it is all tangled up. So, probably a good idea to untangle it. And while we're at it, let me get a battery box and we will test this thing and make sure it works. Alright, here is a battery box here with batteries in it. I'll just plug that puppy in. Turn it on, look at that. We got 2 white lights and 4 green lights. A total of 6 lights going into this thing. That shouldn't be too hard. And they are all functional. Excellent. Alright, let's see what we need to do to get this thing installed. Okay, to get started, we're going to take off these smooth pieces here along the border, if I can. There we go. These pieces, starting here and going all the way around to the back corner here. And if you want, you can take this one off too. It's going to have to come off eventually anyway, so we'll take that off too. There we go. And now we are prepped for the first set. Now, we'll bring out the string, and one of these strings has 3 of the green lights on it. So we're going to start with that one. Now the first light actually goes, here, I'm going to try and do this, right there. So, whoop. Let's get the first light in that string in. There we go. Just like that. Now the cabling here, you can bring it out, wind it around a little bit, but for the part that goes to the USB, you're going to want it to come out right about there. So we will take this, we'll put it in place to hold it. And then you're going to want this one to come along the front. Now, if you want to make life a little easier on you, you can take the speeder bikes off. Not a big deal here. Okay. I'm going to just bring this puppy back. Through. We just want it nice and hidden, but not on top of the studs, of course. Okay, and it's going to continue up all along the edge here. And we will bring it in right around here to go this way. All right, look at that. And now we can come around to the front. Now, this second light is actually going to go on this tiny little green one right there. So let's go ahead and bring that puppy in. There we go, just like that. Look at that. How beautiful is that? Now, try to keep the cabling, you know, relatively hidden here. Look at that. It's gorgeous, isn't it? We're going to do the same thing here. This is going to come like all the way down and it's going to plug in right there. So, let's go ahead and get that in, just like that. See? And now we just hide the cables and put the covers back on. Tweezers are your friend with these builds, so make sure you use them. All right, there we go. So you can see we've got the light there, got another one there, and another one right back here with the cable coming out the back, and very little in the way of visible cables throughout. How awesome is that? Okay, for the next section, we're going to start by pulling this branch out. And now we're going to take all this stuff all the way down to the bottom off. So shouldn't be too hard. There we go. All right, I'm going to take this piece off too. Aches. There it goes. All right, so what you're left with is something that looks like this. And what we're going to want to do is take the cable that's got the gray stud on it and make sure that it's not tangled up in anything. And we're going to plug it in right there, just like so. Bring the cable back to here. We're going to wind it around a couple times. Then we'll plug this back in. Okay, and this cable will go all the way down just like this. And of course, as it does, we're going to replace all the pieces that we just took off. Now things are going to get a little tricky when you get to the bottom here, because as you get there, you're going to want the cable to wind around to the back just like this. And let's see if we can't get this thing to stay. I will admit it is a pain to work with this thing. Because all these little pieces are just kind of in the way at this area. There's not a lot that can be done about it. All right, and with that done, we can come around to the back here. These cables just come right out the back, just like so. And we can replace this. Boom. One side is done. All right, here we are on the opposite side, and we're basically going to be doing the same thing here. We're going to go ahead and take these little cover plates off. Like that. And up here as well. All right. And you can see what we're left with. Up here, I'm going to take this top trunk off. There we go. Guess where the light's going? And then we're going to tear this down just like we did with the last one. So when you're done, you should have something that looks like this. Nice and easy, right? All right, in this case, we're going to use the black stud. And it's the same basic concept. It's going to go right in the center here, just like this. It's going to come back and weave around a couple times just to keep it stable up there before we plug this in and drag it down the trunk, filling in all the gaps as we go. All right, and if done just right, you can see the cable just comes right out of the foot of the tree, so it's barely visible as it is. But we do want to bring it down along the edge here, replacing all of the covers to keep it looking nice and pretty. And there you go. Now, this final stud, which is just the last green stud here, is going to be quite easy. That's going to go right in there, right in there. Just like that. So now all of the light studs are in place. Really, this can just come right out the back and you're good to go. Or if you want, you can play around back here. Excuse me. Play around back here and try to get everything nice and tight and neat. I might give that a quick shot, but it's really just a matter of pulling these covers off and getting the cabling to come along and maybe meet in the middle. At the end of which, we can test this thing out. All right, y'all, moment of truth time. Does it work? Let me get the lights and see what it looks like. Oh man, that thing is really, really bright. I like this a lot, actually. I think this really makes it look so much better. And even more than that, the entire thing is completely visible in the dark now. So you got the whole chase scene going on here. That looks really good. I mean, obviously there's not going to be any actual lights in those areas, but for the purposes of this display, that's pretty awesome. I really like it. Well, I mean, there's not a whole lot more I could say about it. It's got 6 lights, 4 green on the ground, 2 white in the trees, and it lights up the entire display spectacularly. But why don't you all let me know what you think? Leave a little note in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this video, and I will see you guys next time. Have a great day.